Welcome back to part 4. It's been 24 hours for the special project brew. So now, after the sodium metabisulfite has a chance to kill off all the wild yeast, let's go ahead and pitch in the good stuff. Get ready to brew. It's time to make mead. So the first thing we're going to do is go ahead and hydrate our yeast. You can use a glass bowl, or I'm going to use my stir plate because I really like to be able to oxygenate and fully incorporate all my ingredients. Let me show you how it works. Inside, there's a little magnetic, completely food safe weight. That liquid that you see in there is just after I sanitized my vessel. When it sits down on top, you can see that the magnet connects. Now I can move it around and it doesn't move. When I turn this on, it spins the little weight. Magnetic stir plate. If you went to high school and did chemistry, this totally makes sense. This is completely optional. It's just something I have. You can just use this with some water and stir your ingredients together. Next, we're going to add some water. And again, just to show you how it works, as you turn it up, it stirs your ingredients. So I decided to use some EC118 yeast. It's what I had. The reason why I wanted it is because this is kind of a high alcohol content that we're shooting for in the 15% range. This actually tolerates up to about 18%. So we're just under that, which is perfect. I also really like the fact that this will not have any yeast flavor. Because of what I have planned, I really want what's in there to come through. You'll see what I mean. This EC118 yeast says to use 1 gram per gallon. I'm going to bust out the kitchen scale. It keeps bouncing back and forth, but I'm at 7 grams. We're going to call that good. And this is why I use a piece of paper. That way I can just fold it over and dump in my yeast without making a giant mess everywhere. Can you tell I've done this before? It's kind of hard to read, but we're going to be using Fermex yeast nutrient. And we're going to go on the high side, which is 1.5 teaspoons per gallon. In case you're wondering, 1 tablespoon equals 3 teaspoons. So we're just going to round off. It's not rocket science. And in goes the yeast nutrients. I went ahead and just rounded off to 2 tablespoons. And I made a mess. Poured one out for my homies. Make sure that when you're using your water, that you're not using hot water, because the hot water would kill your yeast. Now I'm just going to turn this on and let it start stirring and hydrating my yeast for about 10 minutes. Just enough to stir. We're not trying to make whipped cream. In case you're wondering how you get that magnet out when you're done, I just use one of the magnets off in my fridge. And all I have to do is pull it out. That's simple. Make sure you pull it out before you try to dump it in there. Just like that. And now for the most anticlimactic part of the video, we're just going to add in our yeast. There you go, guys. Replace the lid, snap it down, and make sure you follow, because in 24 hours, we're going to have an update, part 5 of the special brew.